Hello everyone and welcome to another Halloween tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get this fallen angel look, which is actually really quite simple to do. So I'm basically going to show you how to go from this to this. Let's get started. First I'm going to start by removing any excess oil from my eyelids with a tissue. Now the reason I do this is because moisture is the reason that eyeshadows will crease, and because this look is incredibly heavy on liner and eyeshadows, I really want to make sure there's no creasing. Now taking a matte black eyeliner, I'm going to start creating the circle around my eyes just using my fingertips. You can go ahead and use a brush if you feel more comfortable doing that. So this is just going to give you that nice circle base to put eyeshadow on. Now, after you look like a raccoon, we're going to set that with a matte black eyeshadow. Feel free to use one with shimmer, I just prefer not to. So going in with a short shader brush and that matte black eyeshadow, pat that over the circle that you have just created. Again, this will set the product and stop it from creasing as we're getting rid of that moisture by using the powder on top. Now you don't need to worry about blending the edges as we are going to be using something else to make them look blended. So just repeat those steps on the other eye until you are looking like a lovely raccoon, like this. So once you've wondered why the hell you've just done that, and this is what you usually avoid, take a makeup remover wipe and just tidy up the edges, get rid of any excess fallout from that black shadow. Now we're going to move on to further blackening out the eyes. We're going to use a gel eyeliner. Feel free to use the same gel liner that we used in the beginning of the tutorial, but you really want to make sure that the eyes are as black as possible. So we're going to run this through the tight line, along the waterline, going all the way into the outer and inner corners, but make sure you're also smudging it between the lashes where sometimes skin can show up. We are then going to go in with curling our lashes, which you don't necessarily need to do. I think it's just a habit of mine now. But then we're going to apply a black mascara. Make sure it's a black mascara. Go for a couple of coats. Honestly, the lashes don't really matter in this tutorial. You just want to make them as black as possible so they disappear into the black circle around your eyes. But then again, mascara does open up the eyes, makes the contacts look cooler. Now we're going to move on to base. So I decided to pale down my foundation. You don't need to do this, but I just thought it would look a bit cool. So I'm mixing the two together and applying it to my face, being really careful around the circles and also bringing it over my ears and down my neck. If you are paling down a foundation or darkening a foundation, make sure that you are doing this and going into the hairline as well. Then I'm just going to bounce that in with a damp beauty blender. I just prefer the look of this, not a necessary step, just what I enjoy to do. Now I'm going to take my regular concealer and I'm going to mix it with a bit of that white foundation because obviously my skin's a bit paler now. And with a detail brush, I'm going to place that where any redness is showing through, kind of around the eyes to make sure that they're going to be as white as possible. And then again, I'm just going to bounce that in with my damp beauty blender. Again, not necessarily just what I prefer to do. You can use your fingers, another brush. Then I'm going to take a translucent powder and I'm going to really set where we've put the foundation. That means over your ears and neck as well. And I'm just really making sure I have a matte surface. Now we're going to move on to contouring, and I'm going to use a contour shade with a very grey base tone. Feel free to use a grey eyeshadow if you prefer. So I'm really going to etch out the cheekbones. We're going to add a lot of definition with this look. I'm also going to bring that along the jawline. Make sure that you're blending that shadow down the actual jaw as well, or it'll just look like a straight line. I'm also giving definition to the chin and the temples as well, and then I'm going to give a little bit of definition to the lower lip, and I'm going to etch out my collarbone and my neck as well, as if she's sucking in a lot of air from all the screaming that she's doing. Just think of that. The easiest way to do it is to actually suck in a lot of air and you'll see your collarbone poke out. Then I'm going to add some definition to my nose bridge and also my cupid's bow, and then I'm going to go in with a bit of a highlighter along the chin, the cupid's bow and the bridge of the nose. Then we're going to move on to the fun part, taking my Skin Illustrator FX palette, the black one. This is an alcohol activated palette, so you will need 99% alcohol or the specific PPI Skin Illustrator activator in order to use these paints. So using a detailed brush, I'm mixing the alcohol with the paint and creating these spikes coming off of the black circles. You can do this in whatever pattern you choose. You can choose to have them as thick, as thin as you like, but what you want to try and do is deviate the sizes. So do one layer, one length, do another layer, another length, and you want about 3 or 4 layers of different lengths. This will really give you a really nice look. Also kind of change up how much alcohol you're using, so that you have a different kind of opacity for the different lengths. Now I must say, because this is alcohol activated, if you do have sensitive skin, just use an eyeliner. It's not worth the trouble. It will dry the skin out, and you need to use alcohol to remove this, so keep that in mind. Don't bring it so close to the eye that you need to have alcohol within eye range. It's not fun. Taking this off was kind of difficult and my eyes watered tons. So if you want to just avoid all of that, just use the gel eyeliner and a light touch. Now that you have both your eyes all evened out, looking suitably creepy, I'm going to go back in with my concealer and I'm going to blank out my lips. Now, I could have mixed this with the white foundation as well, but I kind of just didn't bother. So I'm just bouncing that in with the Beauty Blender. And then pursing my lips, I'm going to go over with a black eyeshadow. This is to just give a little bit of definition to the cracks in the lips. And there you go. There is our fallen angel. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. And I hope you subscribe so you can see more. Bye!